Hi everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to today's webinar, Secrets to Building an Online Review Strategy and Optimizing Your Yelp Business Page. I'm really excited to be your host today. My name is Michelle, and Steve is also here and will be helping us out with any of your questions throughout the webinar. In case you're not as familiar with Surefire and who we are located in Northern Virginia, and we help small businesses drive visibility through all channels on the web so they can continue to grow their business with ease. Our mission here is to educate businesses on a variety of topics to help you succeed and help the industry grow. We want to know who you are too, so let us know where you are joining us from today. You can use that by going to the chat box on the right-hand side of your screen. A few quick reminders before I pass it on over to Darnell. You'll get the recording of this chat next week, and like I mentioned earlier, you can ask us questions, make comments, etc. in the chat box on the right-hand side of your screen. And because you are on the webinar with us right now, you have a chance to win the Google Home Hub away at the end of the talk. So stay tuned till the end when we will be announcing the winner. Today we have Darnell Holloway, who is the Director of Business Outreach at Yelp. He's got a great presentation for you all. So with that, I will pass it on over to Darnell. Take it away.
All right. Thank you so much for having me today. And thank you to all of the business owners on the line who are joining us. I am Darnell Holloway. I'm Yelp's Director of Business Outreach, and I've been at Yelp for nearly a decade. The best way to describe the work that myself and my team does is think of us and me as your Yelp coach. My goal today is to teach you maybe 1 to 3 things that you didn't already know about Yelp that you can apply directly and instantly at your business. It sounds like we're going to get a recording of this session sent out to you all, but if you want the slides that we're going through today, you can also email me. My email's right here on the screen. It's darnell@yelp.com. And we can go ahead and dive right in. So here's our agenda for today. We're going to talk about a few different things. First, we'll start off with consumer behavior. In order to have success in a review-driven world, it's really important to put your consumer hat on and think about how people are discovering your business, and then also what that experience is like for them once they've transacted with you and maybe chosen to leave a review. From there, we'll talk about the needle movers, the things that we know are going to get you more customers, which are profile completeness, photo uploads on your business page, and also your review response strategy. So we have a lot of ground to cover. Let's go ahead and dig in with consumer behavior. And I think it's important to just keep in mind that as technology evolves, so do consumer search trends. And if you want to take a stroll down memory lane and you think about how people were searching for businesses 10 years ago, or maybe a couple decades ago, people were really relying on things like the yellow pages, or people were relying on traditional media to discover businesses, and businesses were also relying on those advertising channels to really get the word out, whether it was TV, radio, what have you. And so now there's been this huge shift, as we all know. Consumer search is all pretty much done online, and it's also more specifically done on smartphones. So we'll talk a little bit about the way that people are transacting on sites like Yelp. I also want to talk about reviews for a moment. And if we were all sitting in a room together and I asked how many of you had recently used reviews to make a buying decision, probably every hand in the room would go up. I mean, these are just a few examples, whether it's Amazon, Uber, Food Network, Rotten Tomatoes. Reviews are pretty much everywhere, and they play a really big role in our lives when it comes to making day-to-day decisions. And that is also absolutely true when it comes to making decisions about finding local businesses, whether you're a contractor, a restaurant owner, a doctor, a dentist. And I want to share this article with you. I promise I did not pay Corey Capaccia from Forbes magazine to write this headline, but what he says is online reviews are the best thing that ever happened to small businesses. And I want to share a few things that he calls out in this article. The first is that he says that traditional advertising is a megaphone that enables businesses to shout and see who's listening. Review sites are tractor beams that pull consumers toward local businesses precisely when they're actively looking to spend money. Quick example, again, if we were all sitting in a room together and asked you, how many of you have seen a commercial, TV commercial for a personal injury lawyer? probably every hand would go up. I used to live in New York City, and there are these guys. They're called Celino and Barnes, and I know their jingle by heart. It's like, call Celino and Barnes, 888-8888. They probably spent millions of dollars for me to know that, but that hasn't really been effective or targeted advertising for me, knock on wood, because I haven't really had any personal injuries where I've needed their services. So if you think about online advertising, online marketing, and specifically review sites, it's almost the complete opposite in that if somebody's looking at you on a review site, they probably have a very specific need for what you offer, and they're probably looking at you and maybe a handful of your competitors, and then they're going to make a buying decision pretty quickly. And that actually is backed up by what Corey says in this article. Here's another comment here. He says 3 in 4 people who use their smartphones to search for something nearby end up visiting a local business within a day, which is a really interesting stat and definitely something that we see on Yelp as well. Here's an example of a review. This is Melissa Z. She wrote a review for A&M Building in October of this year. She says, I found Mike Kaplan, who's the owner of A&M Building and Remodeling, on Yelp and asked him to come over to quote a job in our house. The thing about contractors is that you never know who you can trust and feel comfortable leaving in your home, but Mike is definitely that guy. And so this is something that we see time and time again. People have a need, they're coming to review sites to do their research, and then they're transacting pretty quickly. So it's a huge opportunity for the businesses to really take control of their page, make sure that they've claimed their business page, and that they're also engaging with the people that are potentially their customers. And I'll show you just how to do that today. Here's another stat from you. This is from Nielsen, and Nielsen found that 77% of consumers searching online for home services turn to review sites. And then when it comes to Yelp specifically, these are our demographics. I think there is a common myth that people think that folks on Yelp are super young. These are not your Justin Bieber fans. In fact, 65% of Yelp users are over the age of 35, 84% have a college degree, and 49% earn an annual income of 100K or more. So the way to think about that and what that means for you as a business owner is that people on Yelp have disposable income, and they are relatively consumers. And so it's a huge opportunity, again, for you to get in front of this audience that is right at that crucial moment of making a buying decision. And of course, getting them to make that buying decision with your business. So where do you start? The first thing that everyone should do when we end this call today is make sure that you claim your page at biz.yelp.com. Everything that I'm going to talk about today is free. It's easy to do. The site is pretty intuitive. So make sure that you claim your page at biz.yelp.com, and you want to make sure that you are actively managing your page going forward if you're not already doing so. You also want to make sure that you download the app for business owners. Important to note, this is a different app than the Yelp app that you might use to read reviews or write reviews or look up other businesses. The Yelp for Business Owners app is blue. The consumer app is red, so that's an easy distinction. You can find this in the iTunes iStore and also Google Play. And you'll be able to do things like complete your profile, track engagement, respond to reviews, and overall manage your reputation in the palm of your hand. All right, so another stat, I love stats, and this is also a really important one as well. If you claim your page, there's definitely a financial benefit to doing that. And what our data shows is that the average business sees an $8,000 average increase in annual revenue generated after claiming their page. And so why is that? What happens? What is this magic that happens once you claim your page? Well, if you do the things that I'm going to talk about today, which are complete your profile, add photos, and start responding to reviews, what you're doing is you are engaging with an audience that is already ready to transact. And by doing the things that I mentioned, you are going to be likely to get more traffic as well as repeat business, hence that $8,000 increase in average annualized revenue. So with that, let's talk about the needle movers that I've been teasing. And so the first one is you want to complete your business page. What we find is that business pages with complete profiles see 4 times more user views and 5 times more customer leads per month. When you log in at biz.yelp.com, once you've claimed your page like we just talked about, you're going to see this pop up on your screen, what you're seeing right now. And so this is what it looks like when you log into the Yelp for Business Owners account. And you have this graph here which shows you how much traffic you're getting. And you have a left-hand nav on the left-hand side of the screen, which is what you're going to want to click through to make sure that you're completing your profile. So To complete your profile, you want to go to business information. So I've just highlighted that here on the screen. And the first thing that you want to do is make sure that your basic business information is correct. So those are things like your name, your address, your phone, your website, categories, and attributes. One pro tip: categories are really important. They help you become more searchable. You're allowed to have up to 3 relevant categories on Yelp. So if you do have multiple categories that apply to you, make sure that you add those. Why? Because that's going to make you more visible in the organic search results on Yelp. Also, you want to absolutely want to make sure that your address and your phone number are correct. And if you have a website as well, definitely add that, because that is going to lead to more transactional traffic for you. Hours are also absolutely important. You want to, of course, let people know when you're open or closed. If you have any special hours as well, especially with the holidays coming up, you have the ability to add that in this section. It's worth noting that the way that consumers search on Yelp is usually they're on their mobile devices, but usually they're looking for businesses that are open now. And so what that means is you need to tell the system what your hours are so that you can make sure that you're visible in those types of searches. Now, conversely, if you don't have any hours on your page or your hours are wrong, then when people are doing searches that way, looking for businesses that are open now, then you won't be visible to that audience. So you want to make sure that you have your hours updated on your Yelp business page and that they're correct. Very important. And also, you want to round it out with any additional information about yourself. You want to talk about what you specialize in, the history of your business. You want to talk about yourself as the business owner. And you can also recommend up to 3 like-minded businesses as well. Here's a bonus also for folks in the home and local services vertical. I spent a lot of time talking to folks in this industry, and we launched this feature called Request a Quote about 1.5 years ago, and it really has been taking off with our consumer audience. So for a business, it's a huge opportunity for you to capture people and transact with them pretty instantly. And so to set that up, you want to go to biz.yelp.com. You want to go to that left-hand nav that we talked about that you saw on the screen earlier section, go to settings, select enabled. And then when you start getting quotes, make sure that you respond within a day to get 4 times more customer leads. And here's what that looks like on the front end. So if you see where I'm hovering the mouse over right here, this is my home builders in Woodland Hills, California, and they've got their request a quote set up. Response time is 10 minutes. So quick story, I just bought a condo in Chicago and it needed a little bit of work. And so things like electrical, plumbing, I'm going to have the locks changed as well. And then, of course, I'm going to need a mover. And so by using Request a Quote as a consumer on the Yelp app, I've been able to service providers really, really quickly. And I've already got my electrician booked, and he's already actually come out and done the work. I've got plumbing work done. I've got the locksmith booked and movers. And so I did all of that by using Request a Quote. And it's important to note that if people are sending you quotes, if you get a request a quote from a potential customer on Yelp, it's highly likely that they've also sent that same message to other service providers. And so it really is important for you to make sure that you're using good closing language when you're replying to those quotes, and that you're also responding quickly. And so, from my perspective as a consumer, as I was having all this work done on my condo, I was getting mixed messages. Some messages I would get back from the contractors would say, yeah, you know what, I don't know if I can do this. I need more information. Contact me off of Yelp. And then I had some other service providers that were like, here's my price. Would love to do business with you. Give me a call right now so we can confirm. And guess who I ended up going with as a consumer. And we see that happening time and time again. So it's really important as a business owner that if you do set this feature up, that you make sure that you respond quickly and that you're also using good closing language as well. It's going to really help you capture more leads on the site. So just to sum up, needle mover number 1 in completing your profile, you want to make sure that you have your basic information filled out, have your hours updated and correct, talk about what you specialize in, the history of your business, your bio information as the owner, and then recommend any other like-minded businesses as well. And you're doing all that at biz.yelp.com.
All right, thank you, Darnell. That was a lot of really good information. So I think this is a good time to take a little break. Steve is about to launch a poll to see if you would like to have a free consultation of your online presence and a website analysis with a digital marketing expert on either Tuesday or Thursday of next week. The poll is now open for you to pick a time. Just please email me to pick a time if Tuesday or Thursday does not work for you. This is a great opportunity for you to see how partnering with a digital marketing company can make a huge improvement in your marketing efforts. For example, Surefire Local helps you multiply your local marketing efforts by helping you see and strengthen all of your online activities from a single platform. Things like SEO, online ads, reviews, local listings, and social media. And if you get on a call, we will gift you with our Yelp guide and our managing review guide. So take a second here to select a day, and then we will let Darnell continue on. Alrighty, the poll is now closed, and if you didn't get a chance to answer it during that one, we have another one at the end too.
Alrighty. So needle mover number 2 is uploading photos, and business pages with 10 or more photos see 12 times more customer leads per month. Also, I should clarify, when I say customer leads, what I mean by that is anyone that's taking more than just a passive glance at your Yelp page. So customer leads are things like people that click to call your business app or map out directions to you or bookmark your business. And so it's really important to make sure that you have great high quality photos on your business page, because people love to shop with their eyes. Consumers are very visual. So again, once you're in biz.yelp.com, you're looking at that left-hand nav that you see up on the screen, and you click on the, and that's gonna allow you to upload an unlimited amount of photos. Make sure that they are high def, and also make sure that you're using captions so that people know what they're looking at once you upload those photos. And these are some examples of the types of things that you should be posting on your Yelp business page. You want to make sure that you have pictures of your team. If you do have a brick and mortar or storefront, make sure that you've got good photos of the exterior. You want to have photos of the service that you offer and what you specialize in, any other details that might be important to convey, and then of course a picture of yourself as the owner as well. And that human aspect is really important, because we want to do business with people, and if they see smiling and friendly faces, they're going to be more likely to transact with you instead of if it's just a nameless, faceless company. So again, photos are really important. You want to make sure that you upload and caption photos. Here's also another pro tip. You can flag photos and have them evaluated by our user support team if users have posted photos that are maybe not relevant or not appropriate for your business. Same thing goes with reviews as well. You can flag reviews if you feel that a review violates our content guidelines. You can flag it, and someone from the user support team will evaluate it. If it does violate our content guidelines, it will be removed entirely. And quick side note on that, in case you're wondering, what are the content guidelines? Reviews that contain things like threats or harassment or hate speech have no place on Yelp. Those would be removed. Also, reviews that are not representative of a firsthand customer experience. And then also, if there is a conflict of interest, if let's say like a disgruntled ex-employee or a competitor is reviewing your business, and those are things that you would definitely want to bring to the attention of the user support team. Also, back to photos, you want to make sure that you keep the content fresh. And so every 6 months to a year, you should definitely do an audit of what you've posted on your Yelp business page. And if the photos are not fresh, then go ahead and update them and make sure that they're still speaking to how your business actually looks and feels for your audience of consumers. So we talked about photos, and we will keep it moving to the next needle mover, which is responding to reviews. And this is a stat from Jay Baer, who's the author of the book Hug Your Haters. He says 53% of consumers.
Aw.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Sorry about that.
All good.
No, you're good to go. Sorry.
All good. So he said 53% of consumers expect to receive a review response, and businesses that respond see a 10% upgrade. Oh, this second stat is from us. Businesses that respond see a 10% upgrade in star rating on Yelp. And so it's important to note that time is also a factor. If you have negative reviews, critical reviews, you absolutely should respond to all of those. And you also want to make sure that you respond within 24 hours. And so here are some ways that you can respond to the different types of critical reviews. But effectively, what our data finds is that if you respond within 24 hours, you have a 33% higher probability of that person upgrading their review, and sometimes by as much as 2 stars. And I'll show you an example of that in just a moment. But if somebody has left you a legitimate critical review, you should publicly comment on it and make sure that you're applying the same customer service philosophy that you would with a face-to-face interaction. Don't treat that person differently, or don't give them less good customer service because they're online. Make sure you respond within 24 hours and really take the high road and take a very customer service oriented approach with your public comment. If the review is inaccurate, then you also want to be diplomatic, but make sure that you clarify any inaccuracies and, of course, tell your side as the business owner as well. And the third-party audience that is looking at the exchange between you and the reviewer will be able to see that. And then if there is a rant on your business page, then you want to just send them a direct message. Sometimes people may post things that are off base, and you don't want to get into a public back and forth with someone like that, but you still want to try to address it if you can. So send them a direct message. When it comes to positive reviews, you should absolutely respond to all of those as well. If you have something to add, you want to post a public comment on that positive review. Hey, thank you so much for your feedback. Thank you so much for being one of my valued customers. If you have nothing to add, send them a direct message. We also just recently released a thank button for reviews. So now it's as simple as clicking the button to say thank you, and they'll get a notification on their app saying that the business owner has thanked them for their review. So just like I love getting likes on Instagram when I post a photo, it's the same concept. When people write reviews for you, they're going to love to get those thanks from you as a business owner. So make sure that you're taking advantage of that feature. And here's that example I promised you earlier. We see this time and again. Businesses that are responding in a timely manner and with great customer service are able to turn around negative review situations. So if you look down here, you can see where I'm hovering my mouse. This is a 1-star review from July of this year. And they wanted an estimate from this paint company. They said they came out to look at my property for a quote on May 28th. I still haven't heard from them. 1-star review. Well, a few days later, we get an upgrade to a 4-star rating, and they say as soon as I posted the previous review, Kara messaged me and immediately got to the bottom of what happened. She got the estimate to me quickly and apologized for the lapse. I'm so grateful for her professionalism. And then, of course, we see about a month later or a few weeks later, paint job is done. And the review is now 5 stars. And it says, I'm positively overwhelmed by the way that Kara and Goran have treated us and with the quality of the work they have done. I was nervous at the prospect of having such a large project done, but from the moment they stepped onto our property, the professional and clear way they assessed our needs and our wishes immediately made me feel more at ease. So what we find here is that customer service really has a big impact on your reviews. And in fact, our data shows that as well. If a Yelp user says good customer service in a review on Yelp, that review is 5 times as likely to be 5-star. So make sure that you are responding to all of your reviews consistently and diplomatically, and that you're taking a very customer service oriented approach, and you will have more success. So here are the action items for reviews. You want to take a minute, take the high road, and take comfort. And to clarify that, why am I saying take a minute? Because I said you need to respond within 24 hours. One thing that I've observed in working with business owners over the years, which I totally get, is that people can be very passionate about their online reputation. And sometimes if people get negative reviews, they may be tempted to throw on the caps lock and send off a snarky response to somebody who's left them less than. But the reality is, if you respond that way, you're definitely not going to turn around that situation. And in fact, it might even make the situation worse than it was before. So if you might respond in that way, take a minute, take a beat, and then make sure that you craft a very diplomatic and customer service oriented response, and take the high road and take comfort in knowing that you are actively managing your reputation the right way. So I know I've covered a lot of ground, and let's summarize that quickly. So the first thing is you want to make sure that you complete your business page. If anyone is listening who has not claimed their page, first thing you want to do when we wrap up is go to biz.yelp.com. And once you've claimed your page, make sure that you've updated your basic business information, your hours, your specialties, your history, your photo for yourself as the business owner, your bio information, and also recommend any other businesses that you'd like to do so. You also want to make sure that you upload photos. These are going to be big drivers of traffic and are going to be tools to help you convert as well. So upload those photos, make sure they've got good captions. You can flag photos that might be inappropriate for your business if you need to, and also update photos on a regular basis. And then you want to respond to your reviews. You can publicly comment on reviews, you can send direct messages, and you can also use the thank button as well. But the key here is time is a factor, so make sure that you're responding within 24 hours. So if folks need help after today's session, you can message my team at bizoutreach@yelp.com. You can also tweet at us at Yelp for Business. And we have a fantastic blog with a lot of wonderful content that can help you on a variety of topics. So you can check that out at yelpblog.com/section/business. And also, it is the holidays, so we have a little bit of a gift for you as well. If anyone is interested in seeing what Yelp ads can do for their business, we're doing a promotion right now, so you can get up to $900 in bonus ads to help you get started. All you need to do is use the promo code Q418 Local Boost and go to biz.yelp.com/ads to check it out. And that offer expires at the end of this month. So if you're interested, be sure to check it out soon.
All right, thank you, Darnell. Before we get into questions, we want to ask again if you would like to have a free consultation of your online presence and website analysis with a digital marketing expert on either Tuesday or Thursday of next week. The poll is now open. Please email me to pick a time if Tuesday or Thursday does not work for you. And like I mentioned earlier, if you hop on a call with us, we'll gift you with the Yelp guide and the managing reviews guide. And we did have one question come through from Diana. She wants to know, should old images be deleted?
If you have photos that are really outdated that you've added yourself as a business, then yes, you should absolutely delete those and keep those fresh. And if you have photos that are added from Yelp users as well that are a little bit old, then the best workaround for that is to just add more photos yourself to make sure that you have fresh content on your page. The more, the better.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll take a few seconds here to close up the poll, and then we'll get on to the Google Home Hub mini winner, or not mini, sorry, the Google Home Hub winner. All right, so today's lucky recipient of the Google Home Hub is Nicole Perella. Congratulations, Nicole. Please email marketing@surefirelocal.com with your full mailing address, and we will ship that right out to you. So huge thanks to Darnell and to all of you for taking the time out of your day to join us. We hope you learned something new and look forward to seeing you online on future webinars. Please take a minute to fill out the survey at the end and let us know how we did today and what topics you'd like to hear about in the future. We love checking out the topics you suggest when we plan our webinar schedule. Thank you and have a great day.
Thanks. I hope it was informative.
Definitely was.